What's up guys, Dark Advisor here. Hope you guys are having a good night. I had to read through my video a few times. Wayforward, thank you again. They gave me a copy of the original Shantae that came out recently for PS4 and PS5 to review. And I've done this video about 2 times now, and I gotta get better about that. But I went back and watched. I actually have it uploaded. I'm going to delete it. The original video came off more as me just gushing about the game, you know, than actually reviewing it, you know, in a way. It was like me just talking about the quirks and stuff I had with the game. But so I was going to do it again. So anyway, let's get down to it. So Shantae, the original Game Boy Color game, has come out for PS4 and PS5. For those of you who don't know, this was Wayforward's first Shantae game. Great game. It's very hard to come by. Back in the day, it was hard to come by because the original game, there weren't that many physical copies made for it because they didn't know if it was going to be successful. And so finding physical copies of the original Game Boy Color game is very hard. You can find them, but they usually run you about 300, you know, for a sealed copy. So, you know, not everybody could just jump onto it back then. And thankfully, Wayforward has come back with limited run games and has re-released the game. So now everybody can play it. Now you don't have to go out there and try to save and scrunch and dig up pennies off Walmart parking lots to get $300 to buy a copy of the game. You can play in either the Game Boy Color version or the enhanced Game Boy Advance version of the game. Both games are the same. It's just, you know, graphic quality somewhat. They're still handheld quality games. So honestly, it's not that much difference. The Game Boy Advance one is a little brighter and has a little more pizzazz to it, but you can have just as much fun in the original Game Boy Color version. That being said, the game has the usual staples you'll see in most Shantae games. You have her transformations, you have the save shop, the bathhouse, the item shop. I think I said that twice. I will say though, when it comes to this game, the original Shantae is much harder than anything that has come out recently. The only thing I can kind of think of is a combination if you play Half Genie Hero, because I kind of see it as probably a little bit hard. I like Seven Sirens, but something about Half Genie Hero just stuck with me better. I really enjoyed that game the most just because for those of us that got to back the game originally in the Kickstart, it felt like I was closer to that game than Seven Sirens, because with Half Genie Hero, while we didn't actively develop it, we got say so in some things like outfits, enemies and things like that. We got some say to that, and I really enjoyed that. And it just felt special knowing, hey, we backed this to make this right here. And that's not to say I don't like Seven Sirens. I love the animations and the little cut scenes we get in it, but Half Genie Hero was just special. But that said, the difficulty in the original Shantae game, think a mix between beach mode and ninja mode, leaning more in that. Think that combination, and think every stage is Tinkerbat Factory. That's about how difficult this game is. If you don't know, Tinkerbat Factory is brutal in both those games. But again, it's a hard game. This was the Game Boy Color. This was back before, you know, we had internet forums and stuff. Well, it was just kind of coming to fruition back then, but it was much harder back then, and it's still hard today. I played it recently, and I got my butt whooped by some of the first enemies. You know, I beat the stage, but God, was it a struggle. You know, but once you learn the ins and outs of it, you know, Shantae's hitbox is, you know, she cannot hit as far as she can in other games. Her hair is super short in this game, and the enemies will come right up on you. I mean, they're fast. And like I said, the bosses and stuff in this game are much more difficult than future Shantae games. The only thing I can think of, like, again, boss wise, maybe the Pirate Master. He was kind of difficult, but once you learn him, he wasn't too bad. And maybe the Genie Realm, when you had to fight the Dynamo Cage, that thing, not Dynamo Cage, that's IDW Comics. It's I think it was Dynamo. Actually, I haven't played Half Genie in a while. It was Dynamo, wasn't it? I think it was Dynamo. But that thing was hard. Those genies would actually, they did a full heart of damage to hit you. And if you didn't have like maxed out hearts, they would tear your butt up if you weren't ready for it. But The game also includes, you know, extras. You get the little gallery and stuff for beating the game and things like that. You got the end credits. They also have save states. They have improved save states in this game, and that is very helpful for anybody looking to speedrun the game. Because as most you know, in Shantae games, the save room, you have to go to the, you know, little man who asks you, hey, you want to save? You save, bam, you're done. And if you die, you can restart right there. And it made speedrunning in most Shantae games, you gotta kind of learn what those spots are. I mean, you don't want to save actually in speedruns, but you know what I'm saying, I'm sorry. But also in this game, you don't have to just save at him. Now you can actually save on the fly. So say if you're, you know, trying to cross some maps in Shantae, you have to, sorry if you hear thunder in the background, it's thundering and I'm trying to do a video. it's storming up here right now. But you know, in some of the Shantae games, when you're trying to get to one area to the next, there's no save spots. And say if you take more hits than you want to, or say if you lose a life when you made a jump that you didn't do correctly and you lost a life right there. Well, in this game, you can save before that. You can save before you run through a field to get to the next area. And so if you do die or something like that, instead of restarting back at the save room in the village or something, you can actually restart your save point from the part you saved at. And it's much, much, much more helpful to do that than going to the save room. Sure, it's modern times and it's kind of like, well, that's not the same experience, but it's much, trust me, it's much more beneficial to save this way. And both games carry this feature over. So either one, you can do this. And again, the game, the only other extras they really have in the game are you can change the graphic fidelity of the game. You can go from, I believe there's sharp, there's original, I think there's LCD mode. LCD mode kind of has you can pretty much see the pixels in that one. Like I changed it to that one, and you can kind of see the pixels in that one. I didn't really like it too much. Sharp is the best one of all the graphic options you have in the game. So if you play it, do sharp mode. It's only $9.99. Again, it's on PlayStation Store right now, so it's on PS4 and PS5. So I'm not sure. I didn't check if you could do both. I just went to PS5. I want to say if you get it on one, you can play both. Because when I went to download it, it gave me the option for PS4 or PS5. So I want to say you could probably do both. I'll need to check into that, and I'll put in the comments if you can. That said, though, again, it's $9.99. And if you never played this game, it'd be nice to pick it up. It's digital, but it'd still be nice to pick it up. Sorry if you hear beeping. That's my work laptop dying. But it's still a good game. It's a good piece of Shantae history, and for $9.99 it's good. It's a good price. I say get it if you're a Shantae fan, if you never experienced it, and you don't mind a challenge. Because again, I will tell you though, it is hard. So don't buy it and be like, man, I'm gonna play this Shantae game and just blow through it. No, it's hard. I'm telling you now. So just expect it to be a little bit hard. But again, it's a good piece of history where you don't got to pay $300. Hopefully, in the future, we won't lose the game, because the only thing with digital games I don't like, and this is not towards Wayforward or anything like that, you know, this is towards Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo. I really hate digital games just because there's always the threat that they could take it down. There's always the threat that your titles from back then won't carry over. That's really annoying. Just like when the Wii U shop shut down, or you know, PS3, or you go into PS5, they're like, oh well, you can't, you know, you can't do backwards compatibility with your old games. And it's like, well, you just lose all those games then. Unless you have that old system, you just lose it. I mean, I guess that's with any system. The PS1, you know, if you don't have it anymore, the old games you have, you can't play. But still, I have those games, so if I get a PS1, I can play it again. But as some companies have shown in the past, like Sony, I bought Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I bought Scott Pilgrim. What happened? They took those games down. Even though I bought those games, and technically there was a non-legit workaround that they finally patched, which was kind of stupid. I hate when companies do things like that. They patched out the finger quote glitch to get your old games back, because for whatever reason, I don't know why they did it. I really don't. I don't know. But they patched it out. But so I lost my games. I did get Scott Pilgrim back, but I lost Capcom versus Marvel 2, you know. So companies can always do that. So hopefully Shantae stays in the market, you know, and stays online. I just hate when companies like try to pull digital titles away from us like that. So if you can ever find this game physical, I definitely recommend physical. But if right now it's digital for PS4 and PS5, so you know, go check it out. It's a good game. It is difficult, but if you're a Shantae fan, I think you'll like it. But as always, thank you, Wayforward, for letting me review this game again. I love you. You guys know I love Shantae. I think you guys know this. You guys know this. I love Shantae. Hopefully, we get some news on Shantae 6. And I'm also working on, I mean, that's not a secret because nobody's actually working with me with it, but I'm working on a history of Shantae video series. It's taken me a while just because of work, but I want to go through and actually do like a kind of a retrospective history of Shantae, the characters, the world, because I don't think Shantae has a series like that, and I really want to do that, you know. So hopefully I can get that ball rolling this week. But as always, you guys stay pixelated, be awesome, and I'll talk to you guys later.